and I welcome the Minister's comments that there is progress on the case in identifying the site. And it's heartening to see that the business cases have been submitted to you, Minister, and that obviously they'll undergo assessment with the Department of Public Expenditure, as you've said. But it's probably one of the few questions that the three speakers here from North Central would probably all agree on. We do want early as possible identification of the site. I think we've all spoken here in the past about our preference for it and its location. And I understand that you'll have to make a balanced decision about the best thing for patients, the best thing for the public purse, and whatever other criteria you'll need to assess the overall decision by. But I suppose we are in a situation with waiting lists the way they are, and as Deputy Burke has just said, the waiting lists aren't going to improve without the delivery of these hospitals across the country. So I would echo the frustration with the process up to now, but at the same time I would recognise the progress that has been made, and that you have said that those business cases are in front of you now, and I would just ask you to expedite those appraisals as quickly as possible.
Thanks, Deputy. Minister, are we finished with everyone? This is the final response, I think, is it? Yeah, Minister?
I think so. Can I thank the deputies for their contributions? And I think there's two really important issues raised. One is on the elective centre. Now, it'll be based in Cork, but remember, it's a regional hub. It's going to make a huge difference in terms of people being able to access care quickly, which ultimately is the mission in universal healthcare. That's what we're going to do. It's going to make a big difference. The deputies have asked me very directly. The revised business case is back in my department. It arrived on Monday, and it needs to be prioritised. Yes, it will. Right, the department is prioritising it, and I will be in discussions with Minister McGrath as well. And I know he will look and he will prioritise that as well. We'll get this through as quick as it can happen, and then we're going to move immediately on then. And we start getting the planning and design done, and we've got to get the planning process moving. Now, regardless of that, there aren't enough hospital beds, there isn't enough acute capacity, and there isn't enough community capacity in Cork. Right? We all know that, and it's not a small deficit, it's a very serious deficit. There are phenomenal clinical teams in community care, in social care, and in hospital care in Cork. There are brilliant hospitals. But the health service in Cork is under enormous sustained pressure. The HSE intervened directly, as deputies will be aware of, quite recently, and that did have an impact, but it's not remotely enough. So in parallel with us putting in place a regional elective centre, which will be based in Cork, we're also looking as a matter of urgency at how we can very quickly add more capacity to Cork. Diagnostics, beds, operating theatres, community-based care, home care options, and so forth. The system is under an unsustainable amount of pressure. It needs very serious investment, and it is a very big priority for me to get moving on that, identify exactly what's needed. The funding is there, and we drive on.
Okay.